All right,
Anyway.
we're finishing Mega Man V.
We're attempting
We are
finishing.
attempting to beat this thing.
Jonathan is attempting to beat this thing because
All right,
we're
Johnny.
babies.
Show us how to get it done.
Yes.
You excited for this?
I will do my very best, but I'm a little out of practice on Mega Man.
So Josh, tell me about your favorite Mega Man memory.
My favorite Mega Man memory.
Oh,
Let
dear.
me see. There's so many. One of the biggest highlights is Johnny. You remember when I don't think we shared this story on here yet. Whenever we asked Pap to grab us like a Mega Man game, like Mega Man 4 maybe, or 1.
It was 1.
It was 1, and then we went over.
Okay, wow, he just destroyed you.
Well, I
then
had
he-
no health going in there.
And then
Oh.
he pulled out like 3 Mega Man NES cartridge games. And he's like, "Is this what you were looking for?" And it's like there's 3 of them. They're like Mega Man 1, 4, and 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty awesome. We're like, what? What? We just asked for the first one. They found all of them. And strangely enough,
Where did he find all these?
somehow
games
he
anyway?
knew which ones we already had to not get the ones we already had.
Yeah.
Garage
Yeah.
sale.
Yeah, oh yeah, he got them at garage sales, but I don't know how he knew which ones, we already had. I doubt he went down and, knew what he was looking at.
Yeah.
Unless we did ask for 3, but I'm pretty sure we asked for just 1.
Maybe he just specifically went and asked for, certain games.
That was pretty awesome. Like just getting like this. I mean, back then that was a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like this was before we had like the newer consoles like GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
And I
that
think
sucked.
N64 was just fresh to us, so we
Yeah.
were still playing in like the NES Genesis days.
Right.
So that was pretty awesome to get like
Well,
3
that
Mega Man
solves
games. It was
that.
like a nice little collection.
Yeah. I remember you had, I think, all of them at one point. All the Mega Man
All
games.
of
they're,
for
they're in
NES.
the other room. Yeah.
Yeah.
All for NES. Yeah.
I don't remember you ever having 7 though.
7 we never had until like the anniversary collection.
Yeah, it was extremely expensive. It was around
It
that
still
time.
is too.
Yeah, it was around that time where Johnny's mom would let us use her credit card to buy stuff like off eBay or Amazon and stuff. But we
Careful,
wouldn't.
there's something above you.
We didn't get Mega Man 7 because it was too expensive.
Yeah.
It was like rare or something. NES is like the best. Well, not specifically NES, but just not the anniversary collection because they, dumb it down a lot.
Yeah, they didn't.
Take a lot of enemies out, so you'll walk into like a room and there was just like nothing there when there was supposed to be a boss there. You mentioned PS4 and the new Mega Man collections not hacking it down like the GameCube and PS2 did, and it's like that's why I said like not specifically that Nintendo is the best version since now that's like equal the same exact one. I'm saying like not the GameCube and PS2 anniversary collections because those are at the time we didn't know that they hacked them down a lot until like later when you see like.
YouTube videos telling
Yeah,
you.
videos and exactly comments and stuff. Just saying like difference.
He did it. He found the pattern. Yeah, I remember you were really into it too. Like you guys were able to beat it without any like emulation or anything. And those games are like freaking impossible.
Yeah, like we pretty much like tried to train ourselves to like not have to use
Save states.
like save states or even some certain weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, challenge yourself even more. What the heck is that? Is that Cutman?
Yeah, it looks like Proto Man.
Does it?
Maybe. Looks like Jackhammer Proto Man.
That is a weird enemy. Oof. Yeah, the only way I'm ever going to beat any Mega Man game is with the rewind feature they added in the PS4s.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that detracts from the experience?
Not necessarily because you don't really have to use it.
Yeah.
Now sometimes your finger might accidentally slip on it. Like since you're like in
Wow.
rapid fire fighting and everything.
You should have a feature to be able to turn it off, right? I don't know if you can turn it on and off so you don't
Oh,
accidentally.
you might.
hit it.
Yeah, you might be able to. I'm not really sure in the settings. So it's like, I mean, it's a nice option, but I don't like to use it.
Yeah.
But sometimes.
Oh!
But in like games like this, where you're not familiar with, yeah, we'll definitely use them. Same with like
Yeah.
Mega Man 11. Like we're not familiar with. We don't know their pattern or anything, so we're gonna use it.
Yeah.
We're gonna use the weapon against them. There we go.
There's a capsule.
Finally. Okay, so for the next few seconds, just enjoy me eating popcorn directly into the mic.
Don't you dare. No one's gonna like that.
No, they're gonna love it.
No one's gonna like that.
Oh, it's Napalm Man. And it's much faster than Napalm Man.
Napalm Man.
How does Napalm? What's his voice sound like?
He doesn't have a voice.
Me and Grenade Man.
Oh yeah, what's Grenade Man sound like?
I'm Grenade Man! Probably. Something like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty close. What's Frost Man sound like?
I'm Frostman. Oh, dear.
It was Sword Man that he went,
I'm Sword Man.
Yeah, that was it.
What's up, Morgan?
Come on, you could do this.
She's eating yogurt because she's healthy and a nice person. Yeah, nice people don't eat yogurt. Or mean people don't eat yogurt.
Wait, what?
Mean people don't eat yogurt.
Mean people don't... You know what? That does make sense.
That adds up.
But what about Jamie Lee Curtis? She's like the
not-
spokesperson for Activia.
She's a nice
But
person.
she's a nice... She seems like a nice person.
She wasn't very nice to Michael Myers.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't be nice to him either.
He's just like, oh.
He and Jonathan are snuggling now.
Oh,
He has like some sort of thing against Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, what about Jamie Lee Curtis?
oh dear.
Those yogurt commercials.
Yeah, he wasn't too nice then.
Talking to random people about their digestive tracts. That's not nice.
Oh man.
I talk about your digestive tract. You just farted on me.
You just John, you just farted on Sean, and then I remember, and I think the last episode that we put up, part 8, Sean asked a question, something about like, you ever have one of those poops where it's just nice and you just like just satisfied with the poop flowing out, and it's just a nice poop.
What the heck's wrong with that? That's a good question.
It is a good question. I'm just saying, our
It is a great
conversations have
experience.
not changed.
Because we are adult men and we talk about whatever the heck we want to talk about. Look, I'm telling you, nothing makes your day better than like starting it off with a really good.
Oh dear God in heaven, that wasn't
Yeah, I
cool.
forgot about that. I remember, Sean, me and you were having a conversation about just a good poop.
Makes
It's
your day.
just, it's, pooping is an event for guys,
Yeah.
It's,
Like women don't poop.
No, they don't poop. It's
They're
the
very
weirdest
discreet
thing.
about it. They never let anyone know. They never write about it.
Yeah.
They never tell anyone. But guys, we're like,
We're like, hey,
Check out my blog
you
post.
gotta see this.
no, I remember now. We were on the phone, and I was like, I gotta get off the phone. I gotta poop. And then
Yeah.
they're like, that's the thing about guys. We all let each other know we gotta poop. There's no shame in it.
Yeah.
It is true. We're like, I gotta talk to you later. I'm gonna go poop. And then you're just like, okay, I accept that.
I understand.
Because it's an event. It is important.
Exactly.
We set aside time
You
for
have
it.
to, yeah, exactly. You have to have your poop.
Yeah. If it's not a good poop, like if you have a really unsatisfying poop, that puts you in a bad mood for the rest of the day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like if you poop and it's just pebbles.
Every time I walk into the bathroom, I have that kind of state of mind, thinking where it's like, you know what, I want this poop to be better than the last one. Even if the last one was the best one I've ever had,
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
You
You really, once you've had a really good poop that makes you feel like $1 million, you just hope that the rest of every poop you have for the rest of your life is going to be that good.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I got popcorn stuck in my lungs.
Whenever I have to leave a conversation, I dismiss myself by saying, hey, sorry guys, I gotta go drop a sequel on Hiroshima. And they understand.
Take the Browns to the Super Bowl, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're all guys here. We know what we're talking about,
All
right,
North
Morgan?
Korea, yeah.
She knows. She's a guy.
For Josh's sake, I hope not.
You look like he's holding a dump in there. He's walking after you.
Hold on, I'm coming for you. Danny DeVito is a short,
perfect.
stout man.
Yeah,
Could
he
you
played
imagine
Penguin
him?
very well.
Yeah, could you imagine him not having a dump for
fur wedgie.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a fur wedgie.
Can I imagine him what?
Could you imagine him not pooping for 4 days and then walking after you if you made him mad?
I feel like he'd be making the penguin grunting noises.
Shaggy and Scooby always run away side by side when fleeing in terror from a monster. If a Great Dane's running speed is 30 to 40 miles per hour, that means that Shaggy can run at the same speed. This means that Shaggy is the fastest human alive, beating Eurasian Bolt top speed of 27 miles per hour. I think the hardest part of production was getting Shaggy to act scared. Every time he attempted to show emotion, a random member on the set would explode. It was a mess. We went through 3 Daphnes. We were all terrified over who would be next. You remember Flubber Man?
I remember Flubber.
I mean, you remember Flubber Man?
Oh, yeah.
Man as in, like, dude?
Yeah, that was a good movie.
That was, like, one of my favorites growing up.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You used to really be obsessed with Flubber.
Wait, did I or you?
You. You
Was
were
I?
obsessed with Flubber.
Was I?
Yes.
I don't remember being obsessed. I just remember really liking it.
Well, that's what I mean.
I mean, I remember watching it over and over and over again for days on end.
So isn't that obsessed?
Yeah, I guess. I did that with a couple of movies.
Yeah.
I mean, you did that too.
Oh, yeah, I know.
What were you obsessed over?
But he
I didn't
admits
deny
it.
it.
Oh, she still running the sheep. Ah! A bear just bust through the door. That was one of my favorite cutaways from Family Guy. Just absolutely no sense whatsoever.
I like the one where there's a door that says not an exit. And Stewie opens the door and like this orangutan just comes out just jumping on his back. It's like, why doesn't it just say orangutan? Why does it say not an exit?
That reminds me of the episode where Peter goes into Bed Bath and Beyond, and he goes into the Beyond section.
Yeah.
And it's just like space.
I'm trying to think of a movie that I watched over and over on end.
Probably some of the Scooby-Doo ones. I
I
remember for a period of time, like every time I'd come over, because I came over like once every couple of weeks or months or whatever, every time I came over, you were into a different franchise.
Really?
Yeah, like one time you were into Godzilla, the other time you were into Scooby-Doo, the other time you were into recording like movies on VHS off of cable.
Yeah.
Like you recorded like episodes of Ed, Edd and Eddy, I remember,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
So like for a period, I remember like every time you had a new interest, and it was like, okay, we're into Godzilla now.
Yeah. Sean's good with the program.
Yeah, like, oh, you have every Godzilla tape. Okay.
Yep. Little Shop of Horrors was one.
Yeah, I remember. I didn't even see that one until you showed me.
Yeah.
I remember you and Grandma were like, "What? You've never seen this before? You don't know all this music?" And I'm like, "No."
I thought you would because it's a musical, and I know you like musicals and just like music and stuff, and
I know you like
comedy
music.
movies.
Yeah, well, I guess it just flew under the radar.
Yeah, I don't know how because like it's like that classic comedy with like John Candy, Steve Martin, Rick Moranis, like all those characters that
Yeah.
you love. So another one was Frankenstein.
Apple Core, Baltimore.
Who's your friend?
Me.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I never got that.
It's memorable. It's memorable though.
Yeah. It's like one of those things like you remember it because you just remember not ever understanding what it meant. You just spent your whole life trying to figure out what it means.
What are the
Joan Barbera. Who's that?
Johnny Bravo speaks for all of us.
He really does. My glasses. I can't be seen without my glasses. That is seriously one of the best examples of a cartoon ever.
Yeah. We'll have to get stuck with Jughead.
Why do I gotta be stuck with Jughead? That is legitimately one of the very funniest bits of television ever because it just all the jokes are just so compact.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Infinity War claims that it was like the greatest crossover event ever.
Yeah.
That got nothing on Scooby-Doo and Johnny Bravo.
Speaking of which, I wouldn't mind. I've seen pictures of Shaggy wearing the Infinity Gauntlet and snapping away people. What did you think of the first Scooby-Doo movie's monsters? Like, did that bug you as a kid that they weren't
Yeah,
like?
kind of. Like, I didn't really care for the monsters. I would want them to use the classics. I mean, I accepted it. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I liked it. It was original, but
it just bugged me because they always look really like obviously CG.
Well, yeah, but I was too young to even really pick up on that or care.
I just picked up on the fact that they just look weird.
They definitely look weird.
They didn't look like anything else that the Scooby and Shaggy ever did.
It's like comparing the Scooby-Doo 2002 movie original monsters to like Godzilla 2014 with having like original monsters. It's like I don't really care for something new. I want to see like the classic, monsters or classic, villains and stuff.
Well, I don't mind it new. I would just like if Godzilla 2014 was just like one of those rubber suit looking monsters, that would be like cool, you know? But it wasn't cool. It was like that weird thing from that movie name I can't remember. Cloverfield monster.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Mutos weren't bad. Like I didn't dislike the Mutos, but it was just like bombarded the movie.
Mm-hmm. You saw those way more than you saw Godzilla.
Way more than Godzilla. It's like as soon as Godzilla does show up, it teased you too much. That's what upset me about it. I was like, ah.
I don't mind being teased a little bit, but I think it went like way too over edge. Because there was like an hour or something before you saw her.
Yeah, there was way too much. Yeah,
it's just
like on him.
Yeah,
and they can't do that with the next one. They can't because there's too many monsters in it at the same time.
Yeah. Watch Godzilla King of the Monsters be like nothing but monsters but Godzilla for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Did you hear the Dark Universe is being discontinued at Universal and is being transferred to Blumhouse?
Officially? Is that new information?
Yeah, I think it just came out the last couple days.
That's so funny you said that. I was just looking that up like last week.
Yeah.
I keep periodically looking that up because I want to see that continue.
Because you're just like,
yeah,
please.
Yeah, exactly. I am. I'm like desperately looking that stuff up. It's like, dude, the same day you texted me saying, hey, dude, Mega Man 11's coming out next year. The day before, or that same day earlier, I was looking up Mega Man 11. Okay, so Dark Universe is Blumhouse now?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It would do really well in Blumhouse. Blumhouse is really good, but the thing is, it sucks that it's not like home at Universal anymore.
Yeah.
That's the
honestly,
thing that
I think Blumhouse is going to handle it a lot better. I'm
sure they will. I mean, they do really good, like, horror movies, Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, just when you think that horror movies are all the same and they're, like, predictable, they do something that's, like...
They're inserting a lot of creativity into the films. Like, Halloween 2018 could have been a really, lackluster film, but I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, exactly. They spent a lot of time on good story.
Yeah.
And
for the most part.
Yeah, you actually like the characters. They're not just like a group of random teenagers.
For the most part. Halloween 2018, I recently rewatched and realized they had a lot of loose ends. Ooh.
Like what?
Like the main characters, like the Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter's boyfriend. That storyline went nowhere.
There's a deleted scene.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't help me in the theater.
Well, it got cut for a reason.
Why?
I don't know what it is though, but maybe a pacing issue.
Pacing schmacing. But Jonathan said it is very likely that Johnny Depp isn't going to be the Invisible Man anymore because it's not being handled by Universal, which is really a bummer because I was really looking forward to the Invisible Man being played by Johnny Depp.
What's that have to do with Universal? Is he contracted to them or something? If they're moving over, why wouldn't he?
Probably budgetary reasons.
Yeah, probably because he's too expensive. Which is a shame. It is a real shame because I think he would make a great Invisible Man. Like his voice, like
his butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a really easy, weird boss. You ever fight a fist in Mega Man?
Yeah, that's
true. 3. You got the head and the fist.
It's another fist!
It's a bigger fist.
And here comes a giant fist!
Here comes the left one!
I still don't like the jump scares in modern horror movies.
I don't either.
Because they're not like... It only works once.
Yeah.
That's
it works the first time you watch it, maybe, and then never again. And then it feels really cheesy.
That's what I mean, like with Blumhouse, the story they do really well, like around it.
Yeah, and so Halloween 2018 had like no jump scares either.
That's what I like about it. Like I don't like jump scares because it ruins it for the second viewing. You know, it's like
it really cheapens it.
Yeah. And they don't show the monster whenever they do jump scares. It shows up for a split second, disappears, and then keeps everything in the shadows. I hate that.
Yep.
So, what they did with Halloween.
Did I win yet? Oh, Jesus! God in heaven.
Game won't stop.
Man.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa!
Nice.
What was the name of the actor that played? Was that Claude Rains that did the original Invisible Man?
Yeah.
His voice is fantastic.
Yeah.
He is a great Invisible Man. But I've recently been watching all the other Invisible Mans, and they've pretty consistently had good voices for.
Yeah, so
the rest
Johnny
of them.
Depp has a really good voice for it too. It's like that. I don't even know how you would describe it.
Butter, like Jonathan
Mysterious
said.
voice,
Yeah.
creepy, kind of. I mean, I don't know.
Creepy. It's like a nice voice too. It isn't like grating. It's not annoying, you know. Plus, I just love seeing Johnny Depp anyway. Anything he's in, I really enjoy. Oh, yeah, we might have to give this one another try. It's too bad you didn't give it a save, though, isn't it?
So, did they say when they're releasing the first movie? Then?
No, it's probably not gonna be for a while. Effectively, the Dark Universe is kind of dead at Universal, which is sad. But it just sucks that Universal couldn't handle it properly.
Yeah.
They totally went the opposite direction of what everyone wanted.
It's the that's what I was saying before. It's like sucks because it's like Universal Monsters is home at Universal.
Uh-huh.
You know, like that's where they started. That's what made Universal a huge part of what they are.
I'm really disappointed. Like Dracula Untold and The Mummy, I haven't even seen, but they just look so cookie cutter, run of the mill, boring.
The Mummy is okay.
Everyone says it's okay. It's not offensively bad or anything. It's just like,
No.
why is this? Why? Like the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies kind of make sense because it's like a tongue-in-cheek, goofy
Yeah.
sort of tone to it. But
Yeah.
like, this Mummy takes itself a lot more seriously, and it's like this is weird.
The Mummy actor was great. I mean, I thought the Mummy, the monster herself was fine. It's
Yeah.
just like the goofiness around the movie is what I didn't really like, and just some plot points were just kind of stupid.
In Tom Cruise, who?
But I like
who?
the idea
Why?
of a female mummy because it's like it is different, and it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter of the gender. It's like all right.
Well,
why
there
not?
was
It's
like
new, it's different.
there was a Mummy in the original series that was a girl too, like Ananka.
Yeah, so it never really focused a lot on that. It was always the male mummy, which
Mhm.
it's fine either way. But I'm just saying you don't see the main antagonist as a female,
Right.
So it's interesting that they pulled that little bit out of there because otherwise it'd just be a sausage fest.
I mean, the
And
Universal Monsters are a
aside from the
sausage fest.
Aside from the Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah, and she doesn't really have any really thing to do. She just sort of hisses and looks around and.
It was originally supposed to have Bride of Frankenstein be the next movie after The Mummy. So
Yeah.
did they keep what's his face as Frankenstein? The dude that played Captain Salazar in Pirates 5.
No clue.
I can't remember.
Everything is up in the air
Javier
because they
Bardem.
lost a ton on the Mummy.
Javier Bardem.
Okay.
I wonder if they kept any of the actors.
I would love to see like a Mummy movie or a Frankenstein movie done right. Like, did you guys see the one with Daniel Radcliffe?
That sucked.
Really?
Yeah.
That one looks like it
Did
could
you-
be good.
You did. It does. It looks like it could be good. It starts out really good. It goes nowhere.
Wow, that
It's one of
sucks.
the worst ones I've seen. It is the dumbest one I've ever seen.
Which is sad because like I've heard people like say that it reminds them more of like Hammer horror, like Hammer Frankenstein movies.
It starts out like that, yeah, it does, but it's just like
Just
it's
goes
one of those
nowhere.
things where it keeps like the monster hidden the whole movie until the last 5 minutes.
That sucks.
Yeah, it starts out really good.
So yeah, I've been actually really like into and obsessed with the Universal Monsters recently. Like I'm going back and watching like all of them to get like really acquainted with them again, and like watching documentaries and podcasts and like
Aren't they great?
yeah, they're amazing. They really are like top notch, especially like Bride of Frankenstein. Like that is the most dynamic, funny movie they could have possibly made for Frankenstein.
Son of Frankenstein was.
It's good, but there's a lot of parts that feel unnecessary. Like nothing in Bride of Frankenstein feels like it was tacked on. I guess aside from the intro.
Oh yeah.
Son of Frankenstein isn't as interesting because there's no pathos in the the monster. He doesn't talk. He doesn't have much of a personality. Like,
Well, that's not what really makes
No.
interesting as talking, because in all the other movies he doesn't talk either.
Well, that's what I mean. Bride of Frankenstein, he has so much more to do, and he's so much more interesting because you see the humanity that's left in him, and the problem he has with that, you know, and all the suffering he's doing.
You know, it's depressing that, like, you know, those movies are still so entertaining to watch now, but if they made it now, it's like they can't redo it.
No.
It's like what about those movies is so great, and why can't they do it again? You know, it's like you almost want to see just more of the same.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I mean. Like, you cannot ever capture that lightning in a bottle ever again.
Yeah. And
like,
they did it so many times throughout the 30s and 40s.
Well, I mean, like, like the production value of the 30s and 40s, the sensibilities of, like, what was necessary for a film. And, like, censorship is a good and bad thing because the censoring of what you were allowed to do back then led a lot of directors to become a lot more creative, and they had to rely a lot heavier on the story and the writing rather than, like, boobs. So as a result, like, the writing and the story is just so much better and so much more complex and deep and stuff, and I honestly really, really love, like, I'm really into a lot of 40s movies now. Like, I'm going back and watching a whole bunch of movies from there that I've never seen before. I'm loving them. There's something about them, like the atmosphere and everything just makes you feel really cozy and comfortable.
Did you see my Mummy review on the 2017 one?
Yeah.
It's like
I saw that like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's like exactly what I was discussing. Like the atmosphere, just like lack of, you know, music, not too much talking is another thing I was gonna say. It's like you don't rely. There's like you know, cuts right to the point.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot faster paced, and you're not just like waiting like You know?
Yeah, a lot of that has to do with runtime. Like, all those movies are between an hour and an hour 20 minutes. And that's perfect. Like, I don't care what movie it is, I'm not sitting for 3 freaking hours.
Yeah.
Like, The Godfather, I'm sure is a great movie, but I'm not sitting there for 3 hours per movie, you know? But yeah, those mummy movies, like The Black Cat, The Raven, they're all like an hour long, and that's beautiful. I love to be able to sit down and have a complete product in that amount of time.
Yeah.
And really, you don't need to have movies that like are 2 hours long, because how complicated a story is The Mummy, you know? Like, how much really could you pad that out? And it really does feel like padding when you make it last that long.
Like when you've seen what they did with it in the 30s and then see what they do with it now, it's like, all right, we know we don't need this because they did it before.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite of the Universal monsters? Would you say Frankenstein or The Mummy? Because I know it's got to be a Karloff one for you.
Yeah, I'd definitely say Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Frankenstein which Frankenstein movie though?
I'm gonna guess Son.
Yeah, I think I'm actually heading towards Son for some reason. Before it wasn't, but I don't know. It's just
over the years it grows on you.
Yeah, for some reason it's just something about it. I don't know. It's one of the longer ones, but not like extremely long.
It's about an hour and a half, I think, which is like normal movie length.
And there's just a lot of monster action in it. You know, it's just the story is great. It's like there's a lot of tension between
the kid,
well, Frankenstein and the
like the stakes are raised because there's like a kid there, you know.
Yeah.
You also really like The Mummy too, and I've heard a lot of people criticize The Mummy for saying that it's very slow.
Actually, The Mummy isn't one of my favorites. The original.
Really?
Is not one of my favorites.
I thought that was because of Karloff.
I mean, Karloff's great in it, but it's not one of my favorite. It's because it's not the traditional Mummy. I like the sequels mummies. You know, like, so when you compare like a franchise, The Mummy comes second, but it's like the sequels.
Yeah, when they get more slashery.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I like. Like, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to be slasher about, you know, Frankenstein or The Mummy, but but just more of a monster look to it, you know. You know, in the first Mummy, he was just more of this dude walking around hypnotizing people and making them kill themselves, which is cool, but it's not as scary looking. Yeah. You know, he's not walking around in the middle of the night, you know, stalking people
and strangling them.
And strangling people, yeah.
No, but I heard a lot of people say that the Mummy is very slow and its plot is basically just Dracula. It's basically the Mummy is basically just Dracula. Like think of Dracula as this undead eternal beast that is after a love, just like the Mummy is. And I see that for sure. It is very, very similar. But I feel like Karloff adds a lot of pathos that Lugosi doesn't, because
Oh yeah, I definitely always preferred.
everyone
Karloff,
always
though.
prefers Karloff.
Yeah, like I said, Dracula was never my favorite. He's like my least favorite.
Yeah.
Dracula was never a favorite really of mine. You know.
I like the idea. I like highlights of Dracula.
Yeah, I like him in doses, like when he's in the movie with the other characters, like House of Frankenstein. He has a part in that, or House of Dracula. He, shares stuff with like other monsters and stuff. You know.
Well, I like
when he's paired
Lugosi
with the
Dracula.
Wolfman or something. You know.
I like the Lugosi Dracula the most because he is what we think of as Dracula. He's that synonymous with it. He is perfect for it. But most of the framing of the rest of the film is very boring, and that's really just because of Todd Browning, the director. He didn't know the films too much. A lot of the actors who did the original Dracula were from the stage, so most of the things that happen in the original Dracula is very stagey. Like they'll point
Why would you
to
give me something that easy now?
Look at that!
There's more.
There's always more. Oh, come on. Yep, see, there he is. Is he gonna pop out and bow to you? No. It just keeps going.
This is forever.
But yeah, like a good example of staginess in Dracula is like they'll point outside to wolves and they never let you see them.
Yeah.
So it's very much like a tell don't show kind of movie, and it suffers a lot because of that. Which is probably why you like the later Mummy movies and Son of Frankenstein, because it's more show don't tell. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go. Frankenstein is number 1, Mummy 2, and then probably either Creature from the Black Lagoon or Invisible Man are kind of tied there.
Wow. So
But-
Wolfman and Dracula are very bottom, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking of the franchise in general. So it's like when I think of Frankenstein, it's number 1, Mummy's number 2, and then Creature from the Black Lagoon and Invisible Man. Here's the thing: I like all 3 Creature movies. The Invisible Man movies, I mean, the first one was like the best one, and Returns it's all right, but like all the sequels weren't anything close to what the other one was. You know?
No, and
So-
they were completely just tonally different. They're more like weird.
He beat him.
I think he did. No,
No.
there's more.
He's running away. Let's chase him. Go, Mega Man. Chase him.
I actually really like the Invisible Man sequels. Invisible Agent I most recently watched.
Mother. There's more.
This game won't stop! Did you remember Invisible Agent?
I didn't even see Invisible Agent.
Oh, that one actually I remember being really good. It's nothing like the original.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, Johnny. He's probably gonna get him
Save
like 1
it.
hit because they can't stretch it on for that long.
Save.
Yeah. Okay. There
What?
you go.
You fool!
Johnny's face is like, thank God.
How dare you attack the mighty Dr. Wily? Even the moon's afraid of me!
Great reference. What's happening?
You are Mega Man.
I am
Sunstar.
Sunstar.
You Tarzan.
The
me
Doomsday
Jane.
weapon. I must
I got that
destroy
backwards.
all inferior life forms. But I'm not inferior, right?
Oh no. Oh Jesus.
Save it. Whoa!
Oh!
What happened?
Whoa!
What happened?
I'm getting destroyed. Oh! 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 Oh!
You don't care for the Wolfman ones too, huh?
No, I
much,
was
huh?
gonna say like,
I like the
I definitely
Wolfman.
like the Invisible Man and Creature better than Wolfman. That's why I put Wolfman after. But I do love the first Wolfman. But again, like the sequels, I never, I
Mother!
didn't see a lot of the sequels of Wolfman. You know, so it's like
Well, most of the sequels are just House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula.
well, like American
Frankenstein
Werewolf in
meets the
London.
Wolfman.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know.
Those aren't the
obviously I saw those,
sequels.
but I'm saying like the off ones, like
Yeah.
Werewolf in London or She-Wolf of London,
Those
whatever
are
it is.
side stories. Though. Those
Exactly, but they're still in the Legacy collection, so I
Yeah.
haven't seen those ones. So when I think of like the Wolfman series, I mainly just think of the first one, because I think of Meet Frankenstein and House of Frankenstein as Frankenstein movies. Even though the Wolfman's in it,
Yeah.
I pair them with Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's why I put Wolfman.
Even though Frankenstein has
After
far less to do with the
Invisible
movie,
Man.
then it's more of a sequel to the Wolfman.
Yeah,
Because he's like the main driving point of the story.
I guess so.
All right,
it's
we're just-
shared.
We're going balls to the wall here.
It's a good thing you have a lot of E-tanks.
Stop changing the stage, you taint.
I was about ready to censor that, but no, it's okay. We're good.
Oh! What the?
Acid rain
What
a can of
the?
Acid rain a
Toss
can
some
of boy.
salt over your right shoulder.
Yeah, Dracula never really had really great sequels. I mean, they had Son of Dracula, but I've never seen that one yet. It's on my list. And they had Daughter of Dracula,
I
which
saw
was pretty
Son
good.
of Dracula. I didn't see Daughter of Dracula. So we
Alright,
saw
so-
like the opposites.
Yeah, Daughter of Dracula's okay. It's
Yeah.
not fantastic or anything.
Same with Son. It's not like really anything special. But then again, I didn't really think the original was either. So
Yeah.
like I actually like House of Dracula better than the original Dracula.
Okay.
Dare I say that? I just
Yeah.
think it's a better monster
That's-
movie. It focuses. It. Yeah, the original Dracula versus Dracula and the Wolfman in House of Dracula was just so much. House of Dracula I just think had so much more story and
Yeah.
just more monster kind of stuff going
Yeah, I totally agree with you. What do you feel? How do you feel? Does the
I feel
Abbott
good.
and Costello?
I feel good.
How does Abbott and Costello fit in there? Are those part
Uh,
of the series or are they spin-offs?
I would say spin-offs, but I wouldn't put them anywhere lower. Anywhere, like
Yeah.
it's like kind of paralleling them.
Mhm.
Like not in the same series. No, it's a spin-off, but it doesn't make it any less great.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that Abbott and Costello like maybe ruined the monsters, but if you think about it, near the end of the 40s, those monsters were not really that big anyway. So if anything, Abbott and Costello came in and just like gave them
They breathe
one
more
nice
life.
farewell.
Yeah.
Like a breath of fresh air, and almost like reintroduced them. Even if it's like in a funny way and stuff, it's still just like a nice
Well, a lot of
farewell to them, basically.
a lot of people just say that because they just personally don't like Abbott and Costello's humor.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're like, "Oh, I don't find this funny," so therefore the rest of the movie surrounding it sucks too.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's really fair per se. Wow, he just keeps moving the stage. It's like, you can't attack me, move. But I've always loved Abbott and Costello. Like, I
Yeah.
watched Abbott and Costello Meets the Invisible Man, and I was cracking up, like laughing out loud at some of the scenes in that.
Yeah.
Stop it!
They are really something that I aesthetically like. Like, it's really nice to just sit down late at night and throw on a very old Universal monster movie.
Yeah.
There's something very cozy about that. I'm not
Yeah.
really sure what it is.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. They're good movies to like put on as you're falling asleep.
That's exactly what I used to do and would still do now.
Yeah. Same with like Hammer horror too. Hammer horror, a lot of people say is cozy.
Well, no, Hammer horror is terrifying. I would get nightmares over that. I wouldn't put one of those in.
Have you ever legitimately watched a movie, like a horror movie that like legitimately scared you for a while?
Yes.
Which one was that?
Curse of Frankenstein.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
If you hit him, it stops him.
The Curse of Frankenstein messed you up for a while.
Yeah. That movie was so well done.
Wow.
Never have I actually really been afraid to even look at the screen.
Wow.
Yeah. Just. Yeah. I don't know. Something about it.
Oh! You! Whoa! Die! Yeah!
Are you okay?
He's like. He's downing this popcorn so angrily right now.
This is good popcorn. I deserve this.